from Arm & Hammer.
For true radiance, you need strength and beauty. So for a radiant smile, I use Truly Radiant toothpaste. It cleans, repairs, and strengthens enamel as it safely whitens with the gentle power of baking soda.
Switch to Arm & Hammer.
Hi, thank you guys all for coming here on this very steamy, rainy day in New York City. And thank you for being here, Allison.
It's not very. It's like moderate.
It's moderate. It's New York City summer.
Yeah, totally. Hi.
Hi. So we were talking backstage. You just got back from a beautiful lunch with Arm & Hammer.
I did. I have been working with Arm & Hammer for nearly 4 years, but I've been using Arm & Hammer products for a lot longer than that. I think we all have. And it's just really fun. I love the Arm & Hammer toothpaste because I need to know that my smile is strong and healthy, and I feel really confident using Arm & Hammer. And I think the baking soda really allows me to feel it cleaning. You know, like I like knowing it's really happening. And then and it's sort of mild. The flavor is actually really nice and not too sugary and sharp. So I really like it. And I love them. They're a great company to work with.
How did you get involved with them?
It's been a bunch of years now, and I think it just kind of, we found each other, and, they love supporting some of the charities that I work with, and I love supporting a brand that I really believe in, and my husband and I both really feel strongly about role modeling healthy living for our kids. And so it starts with, obviously everyone, I think now talks about healthy eating and healthy lifestyle, but, it's about brushing your teeth and letting your kids see that you do it, and all those habits, working out, eating right, having nice manners at the dinner table. Like, it really does come from the parents sort of demonstrating that behavior. It's, as they always say, you can't just tell a kid, you have to show them how to do it. So my husband and I have always really felt passionately about that with our kids, and it's working so far. Knock wood.
And also, congratulations is due. Allison and her husband just celebrated 17 years of marriage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. You should probably applaud him more than me. I think he did the lion's share of that work.
And apart from staying together for 17 years thanks to fresh breath, what would you say is the secret to
right
to
17
Definitely
years? That's one of the key tips for sure. I think that every answer would be a cliche, but they're true. Communicating, having a good open dialogue and I think it's both sides, right? Like talking about the things that are bothering you, but also rewarding and complimenting them on the little things that the other person does that are wonderful and great, So it's everything from like, thank you for putting my phone on the charger for me last night, to, a wonderful special gift. Like, everything needs to be, I think, acknowledged. My husband and I share a lot of the same core values. We also binge watch the same shows together,
Like, which shows?
These are the key issues. And it's hard because, like, now you can't watch the show without the other person. I'm traveling, and, like, how easy would that be to watch House of Cards, on the plane? But, like, I can't. I have to wait until I get home. Bloodline, we just finished House of Cards. We watched Fargo together. We watched Better Call Saul. We were huge Breaking Bad fans. That was like the true test of our like real love for each other, that the series finale of Breaking Bad aired while I was shooting on location, and he waited to watch it with me when I got home. I know.
Wow.
Dude, it makes me cry just talking about it. Yeah. Like, and people are like, do you really believe it? I'm like, yeah, I really know that he waited to watch with me. Like,
That's so sweet.
I know.
It's like the modern day, like, I'll wait for you when you come back from war.
Right. Like, that
wait for you to watch the finale. And so I also want to talk about, how are you recovering from your knee surgery?
I can tell you right now, I'm like uncomfortable sitting in this chair. That's
oh no.
Sure. Okay, let's see if I can find a way to be. This is awkward. So it's been a tough road, right? Like, recovering from an injury, any injury is sort of a big issue, but apparently, as it turns out, tearing 4 ligaments in your knee is a very big deal. And I was skiing. I was, having a fun adventure with my family. And boy, like from one second to the next, it was not great.
So scary.
I've learned a lot about my body and how it all works together, like, and how you need all the pieces functioning as a unit to be able to do stuff. But and honestly, like, I think there were some really important life lessons, some silver lining, lessons for me in this whole experience, which is just as simple as like having to, I don't know if anyone's had to be on crutches for a while, but you can't carry things when you're on crutches. You can't move fast when you're on crutches. Like all these things I take for granted and just assume in my day. I had to ask for help, which is a huge problem for me. So that was a big lesson for me in slowing down, thinking ahead, like, okay, I'm going to go upstairs and I'm going to stay there for a while. So like, what are the 9 things I need to do to get there? And then also really letting my kids do stuff. That was actually for me sort of maybe the hardest thing as a mom, but also I think the most beneficial part of this experience was I can't just do it for my kids. I can't just whip up dinner. I had to actually, my son had to make dinner for the family, and I sat at the,
He's a gourmet chef now.
Right, he totally is. Which all started with him like critiquing my meals like we were on Top Chef. I was like, hold on there, buddy, with the like flavor profile business. But now it's your turn. Yeah, I'll critique your meals. But no, it was great. He's such a gentleman, and I love that now he asks me like, hey mom, do you need anything? Are you okay? And that just, warms my heart. But also just teaching my kids to be independent and to do stuff for me, for other people, and to be able to do stuff for themselves. I think that's a huge lesson that, admittedly, I think I had fallen down on the job a bit on. It was kind of it's just easier to do it.
Right.
I'll just do it. It'll be easier and quicker. And now they've really learned to do stuff for themselves, and that's I'm really happy about that.
That's awesome. Well, you do it all. So I do want to touch a little bit upon your amazing career. You are an author, you are an executive producer, you are an actor. I mean, what don't you do? I don't know. You're also a mom and an amazing wife, clearly.
Thank you.
So I want to talk about the Hallmark movies.
Thank you. Yeah.
Murder, She Baked. If you have not watched them yet, go home, wait till the interview's over, but then go home and watch them because they are amazing. They're very addictive.
Thank you.
They're amazing. How did you get involved with those projects?
So I did a movie for Hallmark a few years ago. They approached me to do the Murder, She Baked series, which was super fun. I love a good murder mystery. I grew up watching Perry Mason with my mom, so for me, those types of stories are super fun. And the main character in the Murder, She Baked series is a baker, and she happens to be very clever at solving mysteries, in fact, more clever than the police, as it turns out, because she is such a good baker. So there's something really cute about that idea. And it was just really fun to be a part of. And my relationship with Hallmark really grew from there. And now I produce and develop my own movies for them. And I'm making a Christmas movie for them for this holiday season. And it's just so fun. They're such a wonderful, family-friendly brand to be a part of. And I just love knowing that I can watch the movie with my kids. I loved being on Days of Our Lives, but I can't watch that with my daughter.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, no, close your eyes.
Yeah, the character you play in the Murder, She Baked movies is very different than Sami Brady.
For sure, yes.
And so you are working on some Days of Our Lives returns?
I did. This summer I went back to Days
give
of
that
Our
an applause,
Lives.
guys. Come on.
Yeah, thank you. I went back to Days of Our Lives this summer and shot some episodes. So I'm going to be on this fall, starting in October, I think, for a couple months. And it was so, so fun. Also, oddly nerve-wracking, I think I can admit now, because it turned out okay. But I was petrified going to work the first day. I was worried I wouldn't remember my lines. I was worried I wouldn't remember how to be Sam. I had all these crazy fears, and then I got there and it was like
riding a bike.
Well, yeah, exactly. It was like being home again, and it was wonderful. Everyone was so happy to see me. It was so great. I was really happy to be there.
Can you give us any teasers of what to expect with Sami Brady?
Oh my gosh. Well, I think the biggest teaser is one that the show already shared, which is that there's another actor favorite coming back, Chandler Massey, whom you may remember played Will for many years. And so, make of that what you will. But it was really fun.
Pun intended.
I see
It's full of the dad jokes today.
But yeah, no, it was really fun to see him again and maybe to work with him. So yeah, and what I love most about Sammy is just that she's a firecracker, right? Like that she comes into a scene and it sort of explodes around her, like sometimes on purpose and sometimes she didn't mean it. And so there's something really fun about bringing that character back to life. And definitely she throws down in Salem and makes some trouble wherever she goes. So.
And what specific things have you taken from your experience on Days of Our Lives and sort of
applied in the real world?
Not necessarily into your real world, but into your novels about sort of behind the scenes in Hollywood?
So I loved writing about behind the scenes of making TV, making movies. I think there's a mystique to that, and that it was really fun to pull the curtain back on and reveal how that work gets done and how crucial every single job is to accomplishing it, right? And so for me, and the amazing thing was how it was so easy to write all the scandalous behavior because people are really like that. Those are almost all based on real events that I know of or witnessed or heard about. And so it was really fun to kind of like put, string them together in a creative way. But really like, Hollywood's really like everything you've ever heard of.
Well, it got really, really great reviews. I know Portia de Rossi is a big fan.
Yeah, she's sweet. I loved her book too, and she's a fun person. You know, she and getting to know her and Ellen has been a really great fun. Awesome. A lot of fun. It was fun to have her write for it.
And if you could do one of the three sort of avenues between acting, writing, or producing, and you couldn't do two others, what would you choose?
Oh my gosh. I don't know.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, that was a tough question. It's like the Jeopardy theme song playing. Like, I think the answer would have to be acting. Like, I was born an actor. I've wanted to do it since I was 4 years old, and it's my life's passion. So, I've done it my whole life. I think I couldn't live without it.
And how do you juggle it all? I mean, you're really doing it all.
I try not to I think I don't add it all up all the time. I just try to do one thing at a time. Mm-hmm. And I think moms in particular probably know a lot about that. Like how you just you can't look at the big picture and all the things you have to do or you might feel overwhelmed. It's really important just to sort of take one day at a time. What are the things I've got to get done right now? Yeah. And focus on the present. So I think I start with that. Also, I love to... I love being a producer because I love putting together the whole project. Like, I love all the different aspects. Right now I'm dealing with the composer and the director and who's gonna light it and what's the cast gonna be. And anyone who knows me, I'm super Virgo and really anal about all the details. And being at Days of Our Lives, to sort of bring it back to that, working all those years for someone else is challenging. You're like, wait, I have an idea. Why couldn't we do it this way or whatever? And so it's really fun to kind of be that person and say no, this is the course I want this movie to take and really get to take it on the path the way I see it. So that's been really fun for me.
And we would be amiss if we did not just briefly talk about the extremely awesome long reign on The Biggest Loser. What was it like hosting that?
Oh my gosh, they're here. They're coming for us. Ah!
They're coming. Run.
It was amazing. I loved being part of The Biggest Loser. I loved working with the contestants and hearing them talk about their lives and their struggles and how the show gave them this opportunity or this platform in which they made the change for themselves. That's I think the crucial element that's easy to, when you're watching it, maybe not digest, which is they're really doing all the work, and certainly all those tools are there in a way that maybe they're not in real life, but you still have to do it.
Yeah,
there's no one working out for you, you know? And so that part's really inspiring. And I was so proud to be a part of it and stand on stage with so many of those contestants who changed their lives and wanted to share that with other people. You have a wonderful New York local here, Olivia, who is part of Soul Cycle, and she's such a inspiration to me all the time with her beautiful little baby, and to know that she just took that opportunity with the show to change her whole life is
took charge.
Awesome. Yeah. Just she was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to do that. And now she does. And oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. And before we open up to audience Q&A, will you please tell them about your rescue dogs?
Oh, yeah,
They're so
absolutely.
cute.
I'm a dog lover. We're both. We were just bonding over that. Like, we both love dogs, and I have rescues. And if I can say one thing, I mean, I'm such a big believer and champion of rescuing animals. And I work with the American Humane Association, and we just love sort of spreading that word, and it's been so amazing. So we brought our kids up with rescues, and my one dog, Ozzy, we actually found he was trotting down the street and about to get onto the 5
And you rolled out of the
freeway.
car.
And yeah, my husband and I were like, oh my God, there's a dog in the road, and he's like, we have to get the dog, and so I jumped out. Only like he hadn't really stopped the car yet. He was like, I was going to stop. You didn't give me a chance. I'm like, well, I had to get the dog. Anyway, so yes, we got this dog. He was all mangy and obviously he had not had a home for a very long time. And we've got him in the car, and Dave said to me, we're not keeping the, now this is a little insight into my husband. This is married life. He's like, we're not keeping the dog. I'm like, okay, we don't have to keep the dog. He's like, yeah,
we're not going to keep the dog.
We're not keeping the dog. Seriously, we're going to just like take it to a vet, get him cleaned up. He's super cute. Someone will adopt him. I'm like, okay. I had to go to work very early the next morning. I came home from the studio, and the dog was still at our house with a collar with our name and number on it. And I was like, oh, pretty sure we weren't keeping that dog.
That is amazing.
And yeah, he was like, well, the kids saw it. And I'm like, okay, well.
Yeah, the kids saw it.
So yeah, Dave's a big softie for the rescues too. And he does a lot of charity work with them as well. And we went to, we have a second dog, Bean, who's also a rescue that my daughter picked out at the shelter. And it's just so, I'm so proud as a mom to really share that with my kids, how important it is to be a dog parent or an animal parent, and to take care of them, and how much they need your love and attention, but also how important it is to rescue dogs, and that they need our attention and our love, and it's amazing. We're a very lucky family.
Thank you for raising really good people.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're really good kids.
We're doing good so far. They're not teenagers yet, so I'll get back to you on how that goes. So, yeah.
So why don't we open it up to some audience questions?
Hi, Alison.
Hi.
So I've always wondered about daytime television. It airs every day, so you must be filming so many pages every day. Is it really overwhelming to memorize all those lines, keep track of your storyline and everything?
Yes, like 100%. So yes, there's a brand new episode every day. They don't air repeats, right? So you have to create enough content to like take days off and 2 weeks at Christmas. And so we actually shoot about 8 episodes of Days of Our Lives every week, which is crazy. And that means that, when I was back, I sort of averaged between like 40 and 60 pages of dialogue a day. And it is, you do sort of feel like you're running around with your pants on fire. Like the entire time you're on set, you're like, oh my God, what am I doing next? But, and I think the amazing thing also about being there is there's a real relationship with every different department. Like I'm sort of the only one really keeping track of Sammy, and so you really talk to the wardrobe department about where you see the character going for that length of time. And honestly, I've had conversations with Richard like, okay, so I'm going to like break in through a window and then end up having sex, and then there's like the time when she shoots that person. So like, but that's all the same outfit. So like, let's talk about that. And he's like you really find yourself having the most amazing conversations. And then it's so fun and rewarding and like crazy and thrilling. It's really a thrilling job, so I have a lot of fun.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
My question is, because you're such a family-oriented person and you are one of the ambassadors for Arm & Hammer, what piece of advice would you give your kids about being healthy, making sure that everything is good for them for the future? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you're right. Like there's so much out there and much of it is not good for you that it's such a tough world, like, and it's so different from the world we all grew up in. Some of you seem quite young, but like, I had to get up and change the channel like on TV when I was a kid, you know? I mean, my brothers and I would like Rochambeau for like...
You had to hate something bad enough.
Right, exactly. And now there's 1,000 channels and my kids don't even know like what network something is on or what night it airs. They're like, and there's, you know, I mean, it's just really a remarkable, you know, obviously we all talk about it, transformation. So I think it really comes down to teaching them from the beginning how to make those choices for themselves, you know, and educating them on what are the why it's not arbitrary that you have to eat your vegetables, right? Like there's real reasons that I put it on your plate, and so I can't just gloss over that. Like we really talk about it, and I really explain to them what those reasons are and like why you would feel gross, you know, after Halloween. Like let's really understand that like all that candy is not good for you, and so I guess just really trying to inform them of what all those consequences are and why we do the things we do, and then also trying to give them, like, empower them to feel that they have those choices so that they understand and that, like, I can really see that they make the right choice as we're going along, so that I know when they're out there on their own, like, they're really gonna do that for themselves. And boy, it's a tough road, and I don't know how I'm doing. Like, it seems okay so far, but we'll see. Like, I'll report back to you.
We have time for one more question.
Hey, Alison.
Hi.
So I know, like, online you show that you do a lot of working out and like outdoor activities. How important is that to you to, like, you know, kind of maintain your look,
sanity,
or like you know, for
totally
being on camera or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, I think being on camera, like, it's definitely important to stay fit. I think that's unfortunately a big issue in the industry. I don't do it for that. I work out because it keeps me sane and it keeps me healthy. And you know, that was a really big transformation, like, mentally in my life, when I decided, you know what, I'm not gonna be skinny. I'm not gonna try to be skinny for other people. Yeah. I want to be fit because I want to feel good and I want to do the things that I want to do, and I want to run around with my kids or go on a hike with them or swim or whatever that is. And I want it for me, and it's not for other people and whatever they're judging me for. So that's really been a big transformation. That was a huge transformation in my life, and one that I really want to role model. Another healthy lifestyle choice I want to role model for my kids is that they should eat healthy and live healthy and be fit and be active because it's fun. Because there's, like, really cool, fun things to do, and, like, the nature is amazing. Like, let's go on a hike and have lunch out by a lake. Like, let's go find that. And sitting, you know, behind a screen and playing a game is not, you know, seeing the Minecraft world is not the same thing as, like, checking out an old mine. Like, let's go do the real thing. Yeah. And so, though, if you make Minecraft, like, it's awesome. I'm with you. Thank you. But so no, I mean, there's, like, lots of you know, there's a balance, right, to everything, and I think that's really important to share with my kids. And so yeah, I love going outside. I love working out. It's been really hard for me with my knee, like, that I've been limited with that, and so just every step I can take, I'm so grateful for right now. I feel like people who follow me on Instagram know that. Like, I posted last week that I was, like, jumping, that both feet actually left the ground at the same time. And I was like, you have no idea how hard I worked for that. Like, so I was, like, high-fiving. Well,
congratulations on that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I'm not going to do that now in these shoes, but I am. Just rest easy knowing that's happening.
Yeah, definitely agree that physical fitness breeds mental fitness, breeds physical fitness, breeds mental fitness.
Right. And it's always that first step. I feel like it's really hard to get off the couch. Yeah. But once you do, then, like, every step after that is actually so much easier. But no, yeah, of course. Like, who doesn't want to sit and binge watch, like, a whole series in a weekend?
With your partner, or if you don't have a partner by yourself,
no
wait for them.
cheating, binging. But, like, yeah, no, right. And it's just... It is mentally healthy, especially, and that's another thing I, like, actually really try to say to my kids. It's really about the language. I don't know if there's a lot of parents watching, but for me, what's really been effective is, like, when they're really tired or when they're whining and crying, I'm like, are you tired? So let's associate what those behaviors are with what's really going on in your body, because I think that's a really important thing to associate, right? Like, for example, I didn't know until I worked at The Biggest Loser. Jillian taught me that sometimes when we are craving sweets sweets late at night, it's not because you actually want sweets. It's you're tired.
Yeah.
And yet, like somewhere along the way, our mind like kind of got disconnected from those instincts. So you think like, oh, I need to force myself to stay up if I'm going to stay up.
Yeah.
Right. Go to bed. Why are you still up?
Yeah.
Like, put the solitaire game down and go to sleep.
Yeah.
You know, like so that's what I think has been a really important lesson that I'm trying to like solidify with my kids from the beginning. Is like, oh, you're antsy, then go outside and run around, like ride your bike.
Problem solved.
Problem solved.
Yeah.
You know, like you sleep better when you did something active. And you know, for kids, I think it's great, and I think even for adults, like my son is taking tennis lessons. I think that's awesome. My daughter and I ride horses. Like, just get outside, go do whatever it is that's fun for you. And I think that really is rewarding in and of itself, but also it'll help you sleep better. It helps your skin. It helps your, nutrition. It helps you eat healthier.
Just breed a healthy life.
Yeah, totally.
Well, thank you so much for stopping by, Alison.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for coming here. Thank you for tuning in. And everyone, please watch Murder, She Baked. Read her books, which are also very good. And then keep an eye out for the Hallmark
Christmas
holiday movie.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.